Hey guys, Shireen is back with a 1 year update. It has officially been 1 year since I've had my gastric bypass surgery. And my gosh, it's been one hell of a year. And I'll talk to you about where I'm currently at, what's easier a year out, what's maybe harder a year out. And overall, just some, I guess, just updates on my side. So, I started off at 407 on my surgery date, and I'm at 258. I kind of hover like 257 at the most, like 260. It's been like up and down, but always within like a few pounds of each other. But today I was 258. So basically I've lost 150 pounds since my surgery a year ago. So 150, yeah, 150 pounds in 1 year, which is it's definitely really good. I'm not sure what I expected. Definitely at least 100 pounds. So yeah, 150 pounds is really good. And me personally, I have about anywhere between 60 and 80 pounds to go. My personal goal has always been within the range of 180 to 200, depending on how I feel. It's I'm okay with 200 if it's something I can easily maintain. If I'm killing myself to get to 180, it may not be worth it. And as long as I'm still healthy, what's the harm in that? So my surgeon, he wants me to be 160. I don't know if I could do that. I'd be okay with trying to get to 180 as much as possible. So yeah, so that's my goal range. All right, so let's talk about so I'll talk about what's been easier a year out. Portion sizes. I could definitely eat a little bit more than, say, several months ago, where I can only eat at the most a cup of food. Now I can eat about a cup and a half, maybe a tad bit more, depending on the kind of food it is. But yeah, so portion sizes, they get easier. Your stomach gets used to things more. I don't know if the term is stretching. I don't know if it stretches. It may stretch. But yeah, you could definitely fit a little bit more, which makes getting more protein in good. But it also makes eating the other stuff more difficult to avoid. But yes, so you can definitely eat a little bit more. You may find that. You can eat more variety. Me personally, I still haven't tried much steak, things like that. I'm still a little bit worried about that, but I definitely noticed I can get away with more texture in meats and stuff and more vegetables. Like for a while I couldn't eat broccoli. Now I can eat broccoli now. So definitely keep trying some foods, especially if you've disregarded them for a good year. Now's a good time to maybe try it. But always stick to eating lean stuff, chicken, seafood, turkey, lean. Because you can kind of fall back into bad habits if you can get away with a little bit more. Exercising, so you're not carrying as much weight. I noticed exercising for me has gotten easier, more endurance, more flexibility, and all of these are good. So you'll need to exercise more, especially as you plateau, and I'll get into that more, but exercising has gotten easier, so that's cool. Taking vitamins has been it feels more automatic. Before I had to really train myself to get all of my vitamins in, to remember to take certain things at certain times, or remember which ones are not compatible with other ones. Yeah, so that was a struggle, and I know if you've seen my other videos, I've mentioned that too. But that's gotten better. It's gotten easier. It's gotten more automatic, and hopefully it continues to get easier. There are still days where I'm like, oh, that's where I have to take this. Oh no. And there's some days that I forget to take things, and that's okay. But it's when you forget to take things in a row for an extended amount of time is when your health can definitely falter from that. So be careful with that. But it does get easier. I will say that so far. Um, Bowel movements. I know some people, including myself, as I mentioned before, you have issues in the beginning because your body is changing, getting used to different foods, can't eat as many different foods. It's gotten better. It's gotten easier as far as like more routine. Haven't had problems there. I still take stuff for it, but it doesn't seem to, if I forget to take things for it, doesn't seem to, what's the word? I guess just be as more annoying. So yeah, I mean, it's gotten easier in that regard. So things should be more regular, kind of evened out as far as your routine goes. It should get easier. If not, definitely continue to, ask your doctor about that too. But let's see. There were certain foods that I was repulsed by, but the feeling of that repulsion has gone down. So I've introduced tuna and meatballs back into my life a bit. There was a long time where I was just grossed out by them. It's like a weird taste bud thing you develop. Any foods you may have noticed that you're just like, oh, you used to like them, but they're like terrible to you now, or you ate so much of it in your like soft food stage, which was what happened to me with tuna. I just couldn't do it anymore. I started to introduce them a little bit more, and that repulsion has gone down for me. So, and that also comes with being able to eat more variety. For a while, meatballs and I did not agree, and now I'm like, oh, I can eat it a little bit. So that gets easier. I have more confidence in myself, more energy, just more happy. Your spirits are lifted. I guess it's like a chemical thing. I can't say I was super depressed when I was larger. I think I was to a point, but there's something that changes in you, hormonal or chemical wise. I mean, you just, you feel better. And, physically, I definitely feel better. I'm not carrying around as much, and naturally you won't be as cranky, or you won't be in as pain, thus cranky and things like that. So I'm definitely much better in that regards, and more confident, and yeah, just overall more positive in that regard. So but I'm still myself. Some people do change. I think people, you ask anyone, they'll say generally I'm the same, just maybe more amplified because I have more energy. So it's just me times like maybe 1.5. But yeah, I'm still very much the same person, which is good. I mean, I knew I wouldn't change like that, but you never really know until you go through the motions. So yeah, still me, just more energy, which is great. Something that's gotten easier has clothing. So definitely having more variety, being able to go to more stores, blah, blah, that's definitely gotten easier. Clothing is both easy and hard. I mean, it's really difficult to keep building a wardrobe every season. Like this year, I totally had to rebuild everything. Like I'm rebuilding like a spring wardrobe and a summer wardrobe. Monetarily, that's difficult. But other than that, yeah, it's definitely gotten easier, which is cool. And, there's more other things. I mean, there's definitely more NSVs, non-scale victories. Socially things haven't changed too much for me, because I've always had a great network of friends and people who support me, and they treat me the same as now, you know, so I think the only thing that's changed is maybe like people I just meet in the wild. They're, I guess, more friendly, and I notice people are more chatty with me. I'm not as invisible to people anymore, so that's good, and it's also bad, but for me it's mainly been good. So yeah, so there's that. Now it's more difficult a year out. The hunger sensation does come back. In the beginning, you don't have that hunger receptor. It's totally gone. So you don't know. You have to force yourself to eat, essentially. You don't feel hungry. That does come back. It comes back a little bit for me. It came back around month 8, I'd say. And it doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen every meal. But I do notice it comes back. And I do sometimes confuse this with head hunger. Am I truly hungry? And it's confusing because you still only eat a little bit at a time. So feeling hungry like a couple hours later or even a few hours later, you're like, am I truly hungry because I don't eat that much? Or is it head hunger? Is it craving? For me, I crave more carbs lately because I can get away with stuff. But that does come back, and I wouldn't be surprised if it fully came back by the end of another year. So yeah, so that is something that is definitely difficult to navigate. Let's see. Since you get used to more variety of foods, you can slip back into old habits. So for me, I can still eat pizza. I can still eat tacos. Of course, these are all small portions. I physically can't eat that much, but I can still have them. Some people, they still can't have these things. Some people are still lactose intolerant, maybe. For me, I can get away with it, and that's not ideal. Because you can slip back into old habits, stress eating, things like that. Which I haven't. There have been some days where, I definitely I am in a shitty mood or something happened to me that day or just feeling upset for whatever reason. I'll go out and get a taco because it's stress eating. So, yeah. So that's definitely more difficult. You need to keep yourself in check. When your stomach fails in that regard, you need to keep yourself in check. Let's see. Alcohol as well, gotta watch that. I stay away from non-sugary cocktails, but these are still calories, and we get drunk quickly, and you need to be careful out there getting drunk too quickly, especially if you're by yourself or at a party, things like that. You have to be careful in that regards because you can get away with a little bit more. You may not be as sensitive to alcohol at this point, but you can still get drunk easily. And people are at risk of becoming alcoholics because they can get drunk easily and sober up quickly. I have to keep this in check myself. It was especially rough when I was dating a lot, and alcohol and dating they go hand in hand. So keep that in mind, especially a year out. So my weight loss has plateaued, so you may plateau. As you lose a lot, of course, your body is gonna get used to that. You lose so much so quickly when you're the more heavy you are. But as you plateau, your body gets used to sustaining off a certain amount of calories, a certain kind of food, and it gets kind of stuck. So for that, I've been around this weight for a couple months now. I've started to up the exercising recently and being mindful of what I eat. I'm actually thinking of doing the pouch test, and I'll probably do a whole video series on just that, a whole video for that. The 7-day pouch test, essentially kind of reverting back to when I first did the surgery, going through the stages of the liquid, the soft food, and the firm protein, but you do that over the course of a week. So I'll probably do a video on that. I'll do that in about a month after my vacation. I'm going to Florence, Italy, yay. So plateauing, exercising, getting more water in, these are things that you're going to have to do, and it's hard. For me, I have no motivation when it comes to the gym. So I really rely on external people, and my boyfriend goes to the gym a lot, and that motivates me too. So having a good network and just having people push you and push yourself too. So, But the gym sucks, but you gotta do it. Yeah. Let's see. And I would say loose skin is also at this point you will start to see it. If you haven't seen it already, you'll definitely get it. I mean, it's not a huge loss for me or a huge big deal for me now, but after I lose the remaining weight, I feel like this point moving forward, yes, it will be, especially in my arms, you'll notice a lot. I mean, this is still like a lot of fat, but there's a lot of skin, um, there. It's hard to show on here, but yeah, I do notice a lot of skin. Um, and then in my stomach, it's starting to as well, but it's still mostly like firm. So I still have a lot to lose. But once that's gone, it's going to be all skin. So at this point, yeah. So you're going to start seeing it for sure if you haven't by now, and it could become a problem a year about too. So that's also something to deal with. My hair is still trying to come back. Now, I feel like I'm an anomaly with my hair. Some people, they lose it for a few months and then that's it, and then it'll grow back. For me, it's really slow to grow back. My hair's always been slow to grow back. And especially since I had so much to lose, there would be periods where it would grow and then I would notice it fall out a little bit more than usual, and then it would keep growing. So it comes in waves. I think really you just really have to ride that one out. I mean, try and get as much protein again as possible. I have a feeling for me personally it's going to be another year until it comes back to where it used to be, and even then I've always had thin hair. I've never had anything like this at all. But it's always, I've still been able to work with it. But the hair I have right now, I have hair, but I'm not able to do much with it. It's, different. It's like a weird length. Yeah, it's just, I haven't been able to do anything with it yet. But it's definitely, it's more than what it used to be, but it's nowhere near what it was pre-surgery. So it's getting there. But again, I think the hair thing is different, really different for everyone. But I don't mind wearing wigs. I've gotten used to it, and it makes things easier in the morning, going out and everything, really. So, and I feel like, this money that I used to put towards my hair for haircuts and hair products, all of that, just put it towards wigs. So it kind of balances out cost-wise. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be at least another year until I can until I can think about maybe reverting back to just rocking my natural hair. So honestly, we'll see. That one is still, who freaking knows. Now it may seem there's a lot of things harder now, but overall, all the easier stuff outweighs the harder things. The harder things, it seems like, has really just been keeping yourself in check. But and getting into the routine of exercising and just keeping up with things. Like, this is where the whole term of this being a tool, that's really where this comes into play, is a year out. You get over the humps of, getting a sense of what you can eat, what you can't eat, the vitamins and all of that. I still dump, I still have the dumping syndrome where you eat a lot of sugar, or you eat something that quite didn't agree with you and it causes pain. Fried foods that cause you to, sweat a bit, or, definitely Google more about dumping syndrome. But I still get that. I'm still prone to get that. I don't get it as much because, it's awful and you just need to avoid it at all costs. But there have been things where I accidentally, have something and, oh shit, I didn't know that caused that. So, yeah, so you're still prone to that, and I don't think that'll ever go away, which is hopefully, in a sense, hopefully the case. Keeps me away from sugar. keeps me away from the bad things. Then I just kind of think about dumping syndrome. No, must avoid that. So, yeah, so, things like that you could still be prone to. But overall, yeah, I mean, life is definitely easier a year out, but it's a tool. You gotta work with it. And the whole plateauing thing, I think, is the hardest part. Just mentally, you're so used to seeing the scale change every week. You're losing pounds every week. And then when it just stops, or rather it just pauses for a long time, it's a mental thing too. So so yeah, so that's what a year out is like. And I encourage you to keep at it. Treat your journey like you're not done. Because again, even if you're not your goal weight, and even if you are your goal weight, it's very much a tool, and it's not a program you stick to for X amount of months. This is a whole lifestyle change. So, yeah, so I'll make another update video when I do the pouch test. I think that'll be really good to reset my taste for carbs. It'll reset my stomach a bit, and it should kick my metabolism hopefully, and it should see the scale move more. So yeah, I think that'll be good to try. So I'm going to try that, and I'll document that. Yeah, so thanks again for sticking around. I'll do a quick view of my body. Since I did that my first video, I showed what I looked like before. So let's show what I look like a year out. And I think I'm actually in the same spot I was a year ago. All right. Oop. So here I am. Kind of see a little bit. Voila. So yeah, I've lost again 150 pounds, and I've gone from a size 26, 28 to like an 18, 20 on pant size wise, and then on the top, I'd say shirt wise, I've gone from like 3X to a large in a t-shirt. So that's really cool. Yeah, so that's what I look like now. And I'll have to go back and watch my first video, when I showed my full body there, just to be like, what? So I implore you to do that too, and let that be good motivation for you. And if you have any questions, definitely always around to answer them. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I can link that. Yeah, thank you for sticking around, and yeah, stick around for more. Thanks, guys.